All right, did everybody find that button? Where is that button? It's 2 buttons under what? 2 buttons under math. Okay? So, this is the button that you would press to square a number. Okay? Now, the opposite is right here in this area. What does it show? No. Right above it. Literally right above. Not the button above.
X1.
Everybody see that?
Square root.
It's your square root. In order to use... Focus. In order to use the square root button, you have to square, right? You have to use the square button. But what do you have to press to use that button right here? Second x squared. So they are the same button for a reason, because one, you square it. The opposite of squaring is to square root. You can square the number. To undo it, square root, second x squared, okay? They're the same button for a reason. They go together. Got it? Parts of a right triangle. Parts of a right triangle, you have 2 shorter sides that form the right angle. Those are called the legs. They're called the legs of the right triangle. Leg A, leg B. Okay? Now, the longest side will always be across from the right angle. The right angle is always the corner of the triangle, right? And it will always be on the other side opposite. And that is called the hypotenuse. Everybody say it with me. Hypotenuse. Mm-hmm. You can say hypotenuse, but hypotenuse. And it is referred to as side C. Okay, now last year I made the mistake. That was my fault. I didn't emphasize on that. And then there was a question on the STAR test that asked about the hypotenuse. But I always focused on side C. But no, side C is the hypotenuse. The longest side, the hypotenuse. And we'll repeat that over and over until we get it. All right, those are the parts of the triangle. Pythagorean theorem. This is going to be the last formula on your formula chart. Okay, and the Pythagorean theorem shows the relationship between all 3 sides of a right triangle. Once again, this only works with right triangles. It doesn't work with acute. It doesn't work with isosceles or equilateral or isosceles triangles. The sum of the squares of 2 smaller sides of the right triangle A and B are equal to the square of the larger side C. Or A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now, where do we get A, B, and C? These are the sides of a perfect square. First, we're going to find the sides. Find the side lengths of this triangle, okay? So for A, look at box A. What is the side length of box A? 3. It's 1, 2, 3 boxes long, so 3. What about B? 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes long, so the side is 4. And C? 5. So now we get to see Pythagorean theorem in action. What do? We substitute A for A, B for B, and C for C. So for A, we write, instead of A squared, we write 3 squared. Instead of B squared, we write what? 4 squared. And instead of C squared, we write 5 squared. Okay. Now, when we square these numbers, what is 3 squared? 3 times 2 or 3 times 3? 3 times 3. You're multiplying it times itself. What is 3 times 3? What is 4 times 4? And 5 times 5? Okay. Now, when you add 9 plus 16, what do you get? 25. And 25 is equal to 25. This is a special relationship that you see in all right triangles. this side squared plus this side squared will always equal the longest side squared. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay? Flip it over. So for number 1, they want to know what is the area of square C. One thing you need to know about area is that area is the number is already squared. The number is already squared. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to write our formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, we can label our smallest box A, our next B, and then notice C is already labeled. C will always be across the right angle. What is C called? Or what? Starts with an H. Hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. All right. What is A squared? Notice the number is already squared. So what is A squared? If it already has that little 2, you don't need to square it again. What is A squared? Axel, it already has the little 2. 12 squared, you are right. 12 times 12 is 144, but it already has the little 2, so that means you don't need to do it again. Got it? So A squared is 12. What is B squared? 22. So now we're going to look for C squared. 12 plus 22 is? 34. Since C is squared, we have found the area. So the area is 34 inches squared. Meaning everything inside of this box, that's my area, is 34 inches squared. Now, let's say the question asks you for the side. How do you find the side? What do? To find the side, you square root. To find the side, you square root. So if we want to find the side, we take the square root of 34. What's the square root of 34? Press second, x squared, put a 34. 5.83. But the question asks for the area, so we stick to this answer. Got it? All right, number 2. What are they asking us for? What is the area? This time, what is the area of square B? They labeled B. Which one is A? And C is always across from the box. Always across from your right angle. So write your formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. What is A squared? 8. We don't know what B squared is, so I'm going to keep that the same. What is C squared? 37. So how do we solve for B? How do we move 8 to the other side? It's a positive 8. We're solving for B. How do you move 8 to the other side? There's a plus in front of it. Subtract. Minus 8. Bring down B squared. 37 minus 8 is 29. This little 2 means it's squared, means that is the area, right? If it's still in squared mode, it is the area. So 29 inches squared. Okay, Now, if they ask us for the side, which they're not, but if they ask us for the side, how do we find that? Take the square root of 29. What is the square root of 29? Type second, type the blue button, and then press x squared. Put a 29 in there. Sorry, what'd you get? 5.4? Mm-hmm. That's fine. Ready? Try again. Number 3, we're looking for area. Okay. Which one is box A? Let's go with the small one. Which one's box B? And box C is already labeled, but box C will always be across from the right angle. Okay, box C is always called our what? Hypotenuse. All right, what is A squared? What's B squared? And then 11 plus 22. Since we still have that little 2 on there, that means that that is the area, and the area is what we're looking for. Got it? So do we need to take the square root? No. The area is 33 inches squared. Questions? Okay. Number 4. What are we looking for? The area of square C. I'm going to write A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We need which one's box A, first of all? The small one. Then we need box B. C is always across from the right angle. Now, what's different about this problem? Instead of giving us the area, what have they given us? The sides. So how do I find the area? Add or area. So for area, do you add or do you multiply them? Multiply them. So multiply them times itself. So square 2.5 squared or 2.5 times 2.5. What do you get? Yep. And what do you get when you square 4.2 or 4.2 squared? 17.64. All right, so now we substitute 6.25 plus 17.64 equals C squared. What do you get when you add those two together? 23.89? Oops. Do we need to take the square root? No. They want the area. This little 2 represents it's still in area mode. So area is 23.89 inches squared. All right. Number 5. Questions on this one? Let's label. They've already labeled square A. Which one is square B? The one that has the 8. Which one is square C? The one that has 70. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. All right. What do we need to do before we start? We already have the area of C right here. We need to get how do we get the area of B? What are we going to multiply? 8 times 8. Even though they don't write an 8 over here, you know that squares have all the same sides. So this one's 8. They're all 8, right? So 8 times 8 is 64 centimeters this time. All right, let's substitute. We don't know what a squared is, so I'm going to write that down. B is, and C is 70. Now notice, we're not missing C, we're missing A, so how do I move the 64 over? Minus 64. And 70 minus 64, 6. Now, do I need to take the square root of that 6? No, they want the area, and area is a number that is squared, which it still is. So area is 6 centimeters squared. Questions? Last one. What is the side? This time, because we are going to look for the side, what are we going to have to do at the end? To find the side, side, they both start with S. Square root. To find the side, you square root. Okay? And that square root, you wait till the very end. Everything else is the same as we did with the other problems. Which one's your A? The smallest one. And then you got B. And C is called your? Good, hypotenuse. All right. To find the area of A, what am I going to multiply? 4 times 4, which is? 16. So 16 centimeters squared. To find B, I multiply. And that gives me? All right, now we substitute. A is 16. Oops. B is 25. Let's find C squared. 16 plus 25. Am I done? No, because remember, this represents the area. So take it one more step. We need to find the side. So to find the side, what do I do with 41? Take the square root. When you take the square root, what the square root does is it cancels out. Taking the square root cancels out that little 2. It gets rid of it. So when we get rid of the little 2, we're left with just C by itself, which is the side. What is the square root of 41? So C, 6.4, which is your side. Since it is a side, you don't put the little squared on it, okay?